Okay. My first question for you would be, what's your name and what instrument do you play?
Ben Meyer, guitar, vocals.
Alright. How many years have you been playing guitar?
About 18 years, maybe 19.
Alright. What made you want to play guitar?
Yeah, it's a good question. Made me want to play guitar. I probably listened to the first Black Sabbath album when I was a little kid on the 8-track. Started listening to that. I said, man, I like that. And I actually really started out on bass when I was in high school. Let's see, when I was in high school, I wanted to be a photographer. That was like my big thing. That's what I said I wanted to be. I had to do a report on that. And then I had a camera, and I let a friend borrow it, and he dropped it. It was like $100 to get it fixed. So he told me he would trade me a bass, and I'd give him like $20 for the damage he did to my camera, and that's actually what got me started. Is the bass, because the camera getting broke, and that's actually how I got started. And once I started playing bass, I realized I liked the guitar more. That's what happened.
Are you self-taught, or did you actually take lessons?
A little bit of both. For like about a year or two, I took lessons in keyboard for classical, like Bill Hawk, and just like one day a week for a couple hours. And he taught me the basics, and I just kind of took it from there.
Right. What bands have you played in?
Nasty Savage, Gardy-Loo, Lowbrow, Acheron, and a couple other ones.
Alright. What kind of music did you listen to when you were younger?
Like I said, I grew up with Black Sabbath and Kiss. I really liked AC/DC, the old stuff, and there's so many that I grew up with. I was mainly into like the heavy stuff from like the early '80s, and then that was like my basic roots at first. And then when I met Craig and Ronnie, they kind of turned me on to a little bit more of the obscure stuff like Holocaust. That was like one of the ones that were kind of basic that really stood out, like Samson and like Sortilege and stuff like that. More of the obscure metal. And then I started off with the Roots. I think Black Sabbath's the Roots to pretty much the heavy. When heavy stuff got started, Black Sabbath was like the roots to it, I think.
Right. Yeah, when I first started listening to music, it was pretty much like Journey and stuff, but like my first real metal bands were definitely AC/DC, because I picked up every AC/DC record.
Well, they're the first. Well, I could listen to that. I remember when I was 16, we'd drive around drinking beer, and I was ruthless when I was 16. I was crazy, and we had that AC/DC cranking. The first few albums, man, it was Blood and Highway to Hell. It was like, we all loved that. But it was kind of just like the root to my start. But Black Sabbath, when I first heard it, it's like, I forgot Iron Maiden too. I really liked Iron Maiden. But Black Sabbath just did something the first time I heard it. It was like, I had it real kind of low in the house, and then that one part where he's doing like a guitar solo, right before he goes, like that. And the cat was on the, like on the couch, and it turned it up right when I did that. The cat leaped up. I don't know, it was funny.
What's your day job?
I sell dental insurance to the carnival workers. And shovel up the shit from the horses in the parade for Ringling Brothers Bar and Bailey Circuit.
You played in so many bands. What would be your favorite show? It doesn't. I mean, it could be a Gardy-Loo show.
Yeah, it's so hard to say. But I mean, I should pick each band that I was in. What was the favorite show? Like Nasty Savage. Probably. And there's so many to choose from, but to pick one is very difficult.
Right.
But back in '85, we played this one show called the World War III Fest, and it was with Celtic Frost, Voivod, Possessed, Destruction, and Nasty Savage, of course. That was probably that, or one time Nasty Savage played in Poland, and there was 13,000 people there. Backdrop was like bigger than my yard when we got there. It was like, I just couldn't believe it. We got a video of that one, and we went there about a year. We went to Germany. Nasty Savage went to Germany about a year and a half ago. And there was like 2,000 people there, and it was probably the biggest response we ever got, ever. And so it's a toss-up between those three shows.
All right. What would be?
Well, actually, I forgot to say the other bands.
Yeah, Gardy-Loo and...
Actually, one time Gardy-Loo got the second or third show, we got to play with DSI and Pantera in Orlando, and that was a really big show. And with Acheron, we got to play in Mexico, in Monterrey, and there was like over 1,000 people there for a band that's never been there before. I thought that was really great. And with Lowbrow, we got to open up for Slayer at the Expo Hall in Tampa, and that was our biggest one yet, I think. We also got to play the New Jersey Metal Fest, but I think the Slayer one was better.
And what would be your worst experience for a show? It could be like sound quality, or too many fights going on.
Yeah. Well, one time with like Nasty Savage, we played. I can't remember where it was, but just a couple instances. It was like we were doing the DRI Sick of It All tour, and like with those bands, which I liked a lot. Like this total punk rock. We were more of like an intricate metal band, which didn't really match too well with touring, but we didn't care. We just wanted to go out there and tour. And there's a couple nights, man, people hated us. They were just shooting spurred fingers and spitting at us. They hated us. And it only happened a couple times on the tour, but it made a man out of me when it came to play guitar. It's like you can take, but I can learn something from those people. It's like, I'd rather talk to somebody that doesn't like what I do if they're going to give me an honest, real opinion of why they don't like what I do, than somebody just says, wow, man, you sound great, wow, you sound great. And maybe that was a learning experience for me.
All right. That's interesting that you actually mentioned that show at Sick of It All in DRI, because I had seen Nasty Savage a couple of times before I ever got into punk rock at Side Street, so that's the first time I'd ever seen Nasty Savage. But I'd gone to a punk rock show and some Nazis tried to beat me up, and so I quit going to punk rock shows, and I got into some trouble. And anyways, when I got out of trouble and I started going back to shows, the first show I went to was DRI, Nasty Savage, and Sick of It All at the Cuban Club. There was a bunch of skinhead fights there, and I was just like standing in the corner. But I mean, the show, I thought the show was really well.
The Tampa one went well.
Right.
I'd say, like when we did that tour, we did like 60 shows with them. There were like probably about 20 shows that were incredible, just like that one. There was about, most of them were mediocre. People were there mainly to see DRI. Right. There were some people that were there for Sick of It All, but that was before they really had a big name.
Right.
And there was a few times where they hated us. But you can't please everybody. You got to do what you got to do.
What's the most annoying thing you do?
There's too many things, but I guess I can verbally abuse people, and I enjoy it. That's what I do. Offend people and verbally abuse them.